Dear Schoenstatt family, we live our covenant of love at the times of the coronavirus. We do not know how long the corona pandemic will last. We experience already many painful consequences. The sick, the deceased, many more people affected by the economic impact and the consequences of the quarantine, who live in loneliness, fear, depression, or even despair. We also admire the gestures of solidarity and generosity, even heroic gestures. Many cannot go to church together, but they turn more to God. These are times of uncertainty, fear, and helplessness. Humanity feels powerless in the face of this invisible enemy. By experiencing our powerlessness, we acknowledge the power of God. This is what many have expressed during this time with an act very familiar to the Schoenstatt movement, the crowning of the Mother of God, our Mother and Queen. Many persons and Schoenstatt families from different countries crowned Mary, especially as Queen of Health in body and soul. During the last weeks, the Schoenstatt families from Ecuador, Paraguay, Costa Rica, and other countries have done so. Many families crowned Mary in their home shrines on April 15. On that day, there were more than 150,000 online connections to the original shrine. The coronation is an expression of our need and helplessness, but above all, of our trust in Mary, in her might and her kindness, in her kindness as mother and her might as queen. She wants to show herself as our salvation and our health, our life and our hope. This is how this custom of crowning Mary in Schoenstatt came about. This was the fruit of our powerlessness in extreme situations. The first coronation in the original shrine took place 1939 at the beginning of the Second World War. Since then, we call the Blessed Mother, Mother thrice admirable and Queen of Schoenstatt. Today, it is a war against an invisible virus. In another critical hour of our history, Father Kentenich crowned the Mother of God as Queen of our mission, precisely on the Feast of Pentecost, 1949, in Bellavista, Chile. A few days after that memorable and decisive day, May 31st, which became the third milestone in the history of Schoenstatt. It was about Mary's mission for these our times, about the mission of organic thinking, loving, and living in the shaping of a new culture. At a very special moment on January 18th, 2018, the last day of Pope Francis' visit to Chile, this crown in the shrine of Bellavista was stolen, the same crown that Father Kentenich had installed. In the midst of a painful crisis in the Chilean church, and after the shock of the social unrest of last year, the Chilean family, Schoenstatt family, feels called with humility and commitment to take up the mission anew and to hand over the crown to Mary. On May 31st of this year, 2020, the Feast of Pentecost, the Chilean Schoenstatt family wants to crown Mary as Queen of Mission again, just like Father Kentenich did, because this event is so closely connected with the third milestone and therefore with the worldwide Schoenstatt family. The entire Schoenstatt family of the world is invited to join it. The coronavirus pandemic makes this coronation more meaningful and actual than ever for all of us. We all want to recognize our helplessness and renew our trust in our Queen. This pandemic has changed the world. It has shown that an old model has been exhausted. We do not know what the world and our lives will look like after the coronavirus, but they will be different. And we believe that Mary has a role to play in shaping this new world, a new mentality, and the new organic and solidary lifestyle must characterize the new normality. This is why we crown Mary Queen of Mission, and we offer ourselves to her as partners and instruments for her mission. We are all invited to be united with one another from our respective places. On May 31st, 2020, at 3:00 p.m., local time in Chile, the coronation ceremony will take place in the Shrine of Bellavista, which we can join online. Dear brothers and sisters in the Covenant of Love, we begin the month of Mary. In many countries, it is the month of May, the month of Mary. Pope Francis particularly recommends that we pray the Rosary in the family. In Schoenstatt, May was a special month from the beginning, a time of grace and time of surrender. Let us remember the Mayflowers with which Joseph Engling expressed his contributions to the capital of grace of the MTA in the shrine. This year, we celebrate the very special May month. On May 20th, it will be 75 years since Father Kentenich returned from Dachau, the concentration camp. On this day, he was received with the hymn of thanksgiving, the last prayer of heaven birth, which he had written from some time before. The chains have fallen. Dear brothers and sisters, in the name of the General Presidium, I invite you, the entire Schoenstatt family, all communities and branches in all countries, to crown Mary on Pentecost Sunday, May 31st, 2020, at this difficult hour, as Queen of our lives, Queen of Mission, Queen of health of body and soul, Queen of the whole world. Thanks.